What's up everybody, welcome back. In this video we're going to wrap up our weapons, we're going to add some impact and trial effects, and then in the next video we're going to dive into something else. We're going to take a look at adding some character selection. So I'm sure a lot of you people would like to see the character selection, so let's just dive into this video and get it out of the way quickly. First, I'd like to take a few seconds to make a quick fix for the previous video. So if we dive into our character, we have the server reload ammo event, and over here I accidentally plugged in the wrong variable. So we cannot make a full reload over here, so we want to get the remaining bullets from our clip and add the remaining bullets from our ammo stock. So we're gonna grab the ammo stock for our active weapon and add that to our current ammo clip. And that's going to be the new clip value for the partial reload branch, and the new ammo stock is going to be 0, so that's fine. So we don't need the reload difference variable in here, we only need it for the upper branch. So that was a quick fix. Now let's dive into the video. So the sci-fi weapon packs actually come with some impact particles, and we're going to use those. But we do not have a really good trial FX to use for bullet weapons, or for trace weapons that is. So I'm gonna take one from the Epic Shooter game project. So if we go to the marketplace, you have the shooter game project from Unreal Engine 4. And in here is a trial FX that's actually pretty good to use for trace weapons. So I realize this is a pretty big project to download for just one FX, but I'm sorry, I just want to use this FX. So if you want to use another one, that's fine, but I'm going to use one from the shooter game project. So let me grab the shooter game over here, and if we go into the effects folder, there we should have the particle systems, weapons, assault rifle, and then muzzle. And over here we want to grab the assault rifle muzzle trail effects. So right click, and I'm gonna migrate it to my project. So we can just keep everything selected over here, that's fine, and then migrate it into my current project. So that should be this one, into the content folder, and that was successful. So we can get rid of this, and let's go back into the proper project. So it's in here, so that worked. Now let's take a look at setting this up. So let's open up our character. And this actually shouldn't be too hard. So if we go into our server bullet trace event, this is the server that will always trace for us. So we can simply make sure that we call a multicast event from here with the hit result, and from there we can play our trial and impact effect. So let's go to the event graph over here, and I'm going to create a new custom event. So let me grab a little bit empty room over here. Custom event, and that's going to be my multicast bullet FX. So as the name implies, this is a multicast event, so replicate it as a multicast, and we need to give it one input, and that's going to be the hit result, and that's an hit result structure like this. So first we want to grab a branch in here, and we want to break the hit result. Break it over here. So if this was a blocking hit, then we want to use different variables than if we didn't actually hit something. So first of all, we need to determine if this was a blocking hit, and if it was, we're gonna spawn an emitter at location. So spawn emitter at location, and the first one that we're gonna spawn is our assault rifle muzzle trail. So I think if I search for trail, so game effects, particle systems, yes, this is the one we migrated. And we want to play this at the location of our muzzle socket. So we can simply drag in the weapon mesh and get our socket location. And we have the muzzle socket stored as a variable, so we can drag in our muzzle socket over here. And that's the location to spawn the trial FX. And if we, let me see if I would open up this FX, so let me show you quickly. Over here we can actually set the target of the FX, so the target is handled by a parameter over here, and the parameter name is shock beam end. So if I go back into my character and I drag off the spawned emitter, then I can set a vector parameter. And the parameter name is the shock beam end. So that's actually this name over here. So let's just copy and paste it. And then we can set the impact point for the trial FX over here. So this was a blocking hit, so we can actually use the location from the impact over here and plug it in. And that should be good to go. And now if we have a blocking hit, we might also want to play some impact FX. So I'm simply going to spawn an emitter at location again over here. And I'm not going to set up impact FX dynamically yet. We're going to look at surface types and playing different impact FXs and things like that later. So for now, I'm simply going to select one of the particle FXs. So impact stone small light. And I'm going to plug this in as the default impact FX in my character. So we want to play it at the impact location, so we can plug this in over here and we can get the rotation from the normal. So plug the normal in and it will be converted into a rotator. And that should be good to go for the impact FX. And then if we take a look at the other side of the branch, so if we didn't actually hit something, we still want to spawn our bullet trial FX. So we're going to spawn it at the muzzle location, plug that in again over here. But this time we want to set the vector parameter to the trace end. So we need to plug in that vector parameter and set the shock beam end variable. And this time we want to plug in the trace end over here. So that should work. Now for the trial FX, I noticed you might want to bump up the scale a little bit. So I'm going to set it to 3. Otherwise it's really hard to see. It's still a pretty subtle FX, but I kind of like it that way. So you could play around with the scale a little bit if you would like. So we have this multicast event set up, and now we can simply go into our server bullet trace event over here. And we need to make sure that the server will call it. So we're going to drag off multicast bullet FX. And we can simply plug in the hit result from the trace, and that should work. And if we do the same thing over here for the shotgun branch, then we should have everything set up already. So plug this in. And that should be all. So let's compile and save, and let's give this a little go. So resize this quickly. So first of all, client. I can definitely see my impact FX playing on both screens. So the trial FX is a bit hard to see, but that's probably also because I still have the traces enabled. So I can actually see some trial FX from here, but I'm not sure if it shows up on the video. So again, our default little HUD error because we launch in Pi, nothing to worry about. So I'm going to disable my tracing draws over here so I can see my trial FX a little bit better. And let's resize it again. So I can definitely see the bullet traces on the server screen, and because I'm right behind my own weapon, it's really hard to see my own traces, but if I'm moving around I can definitely see those as well. So as I mentioned, it's a pretty subtle FX, you don't really see it really a lot, but it's there, so it's working. And we have impact FX working as well, so for our shotgun it's actually playing a whole bunch of different impact FXs, and for the pistol it's nicely playing one and things like that. So everything seems to be working pretty good. So this was a really short video for once, nice. Let's wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, and you're also welcome to join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. So if you have a question about a video or you want to show off some of your projects or things like that, just jump into the Discord. So thanks for watching and talk to you later. Bye bye.